فلا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون.
Probably.
Christian, yes.
Yeah.
But do you believe that there's a creator of the universe? There you go.
So I believe could do.
Yes.
I mean, I'm open-minded to stuff, but I wanted to read this for a long time. So.
Being open-minded without seeking the truth means that you can let any information come into your mind.
Yeah.
We always say to search for the truth.
Yeah.
Because everything cannot be the truth. There has to be one absolute truth.
Absolutely.
Yes. But we would not allow false information to enter our hearts and minds. Why? Because it would corrupt our hearts and minds. Yes?
Yes.
So how do we judge? How do we judge what is the correct information that we are taking? We're saying the Qur'an, we can verify it, and it is the revelation from the Creator. Therefore, everything else is falsehood. That we cannot just accept everything.
That's why
everything.
This is good to read, because then you understand where this is coming from in its most simplistic state, in its most pure state.
Yes, now the Qur'an is making a claim that it is from the Creator of the universe, right? Because we don't follow the Qur'an because we were just taught it as a child, but there are intellectual reasons.
Yeah.
Yes. First and foremost, the concept of God makes sense.
Yes.
For example, there is only one supreme being, not man, not woman, not tree, and not statue, not Jesus, because these things are limited. Yes, whatever created the universe and created us is not the universe. It's not a man or a woman or a tree or a statue.
Sure.
Because
Entity.
a being, a supreme being, right, has to have attributes, or knowing, or seeing, or powerful. Would you agree?
I would agree with that. And the whole thing is about this. It's written by people by somebody who understood in their own way what that was all about. So to read this is all about understanding where that person comes from and what it's all about in its purest sense. Their understanding of it. This person who wrote the Qur'an was not someone who didn't know anything and was just making it up. This comes from
no, the Qur'an itself, we will say that we can trace it back to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu and also the Qur'an, it is not his words, and his companions penned it down.
Okay.
So now the Qur'an, number one, it is reliable. Number two, we can affirm and verify that it is a revelation from the Creator.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we would argue is that the previous books like the Bible
well, we know
and the
that
Torah,
they were made up.
they were changed.
Taken bits here, bits there, to create a thought process that was
but
in someone else's interest.
Yes, see, the church has manipulated the Bible and changed it, right?
Yeah.
But the Quran hasn't.
Okay, well that's
For example,
my point.
but do you know how?
No?
That the Quran has been memorized by millions of people, increasing every single day, right? In the original language. I'm not Arab, okay? I cannot even speak the language to a greater extent.
Yeah.
But I have to memorize the Quran in the original language.
Okay.
Yes, parts of it to pray. Also, children that are 10 years old and 9 years old have memorized the Quran cover to cover by heart in the original language, and they can trace it back in a chain all the way back to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu. There's only one Quran in the world. Go to China, Africa, Asia, Malaysia, yes?
Rewritten and reinterpreted.
Excellent, right? Also, the Quran has a falsification test, right? It tells you to falsify it, yes? I haven't come across any other religion that tells you to falsify the book, because the foundation of every single religion, it
comes from that.
From the book, right? Bible, Torah, Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yeah.
It says to find a contradiction. Because logically, if the Creator has complete wisdom, He would not send down a revelation that would have a contradiction, right?
Okay,
because that would falsify it. Therefore, the Quran is challenging mankind to find a contradiction, right? Okay, think about it. Because making sense what I'm saying?
It does. Yes,
right? Because what's the purpose of your life? Why do you exist?
That's a question that I can't answer right now.
This answer, it has to come from the Creator Himself. Human beings cannot answer this question. This is beyond the human capacity. Purpose of existence what happens after you die, what's right and wrong,
Yeah, that's the
objective
whole thing.
morality, right?
Yeah.
Okay, therefore there has to be absolute truth. All religions cannot be correct.
No, they can't.
Excellent. Therefore, we have the evidence, the intellectual evidence why the Qur'an is divine. Yes, for example, the Qur'an has no contradictions. The Prophet Muhammad was illiterate, he could not read, could not write. The Qur'an is a linguistic miracle, right? Because an illiterate man cannot bring a complex sequence of words, yes, in such a way that it desculpts the language.
Okay,
Because the pagan Arabs at that time, they were linguistic masters. Yes, but when the Quran came, they were dumbfounded, and they did not understand how this illiterate man that could not read, could not write, can bring such a complex, grammatical, structured piece of writing in words.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, well, I'm going to read it.
read it
I will.
and search for the proof.
Okay. Thank you
Yes.
very much indeed. I will. Thank you.
Because truth, it is accompanied by proof. You cannot get truth without the proof.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.